What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast on this glorious, well, it's kind of gloomy Sunday afternoon down here in the deep south. It's about what a 80. Well, it says 79 degrees, but it's about 85% humidity. So obviously that ups the temp a little bit. How you doing up there?
We're doing all right, Cam. 62 and cloudy at present. Supposed to burn off a little bit this afternoon. Hopefully low 70s.
Yeah, we see you got the hoodie back on.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks. I mean, that was buried. That was almost buried with your winter clothes. You had to go back and get it, huh?
I did. I had to go and find it. It was necessary this morning. Hasn't been for a couple of weeks, but Seattle. What are you gonna do?
Hey man, well, enjoy some fresh air. I tell you that it's much better than the humidity that doesn't burn off down here in the south. So, nonetheless, man, thank you guys again for tuning in to the Sunday special. We appreciate you guys. Again, got about a month left of this content that we'll bring you guys on Sundays because in about 40 days, Cleveland, yeah, I need the soundbite. Dun, 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 dun. It'll be NFL time again. Actually, we get some NFL next week, Cleveland. Next week, real quick, not off the script, but we get to see your boy Caleb next Thursday night. Is the Hall of Fame game, I guess. How much do we see Caleb? Does he play a series? Does he play a quarter? Does he play 2 quarters? A half? How much do we see Caleb next week?
Oh, every organization is different. Are you sure that Caleb's going to play in that game?
What? Absolutely, he's the rookie.
Oh, okay.
You don't play your rookie in the first game. You got a bunch of rookies. You got they need chemistry. This isn't Patrick Mahomes coming into starting the season off. This isn't your guy Jared Goff. Starting their Super Bowl charge. This is a rookie. Need to get some snaps in the NFL. Absolutely, you play him. You don't play him? If you're the head coach, do you not play him?
A series or two.
Okay, I'm saying you got to play him. You got to play him in Rome. You got to DJ Moore. I mean, maybe Keenan Allen doesn't need more than a few snaps. I mean, I like to see the Chargers.
We all know that if it was up to you, they would all be playing every snap. So I mean, that's
not in the Hall of Fame game. Not
at
least a quarter. Yes, we want to see him play a few series. Yes,
third, fourth quarter. Yeah,
no, not third or fourth quarter. No, we want to see him play at least a couple series. We want to see him go 3 and out, run 7 plays, whatever it may be. Come off the field. Now, if they went right down the field and scored a touchdown, if we get the ball, if they got the ball on the 20 and march right down the field and scored a touchdown, that's enough. Settle down over here. Settle down. Now, come on over and take your shoulder pads off and talk to the fans and encourage your young guys. But that's not likely to happen. They'll probably end up punting. And yes, I want to see him. Okay, now come to the sideline and shake it off and make some adjustments, and then let's see what you got rebounding. But I want to see absolutely. You got to see the kid the first chance you get. Absolutely. I mean, the Hall of Fame game. I'm not even. Shame on me, fans. We're not even having this on board. But who's getting elected into the NFL Hall of Fame this year? Do you know?
I think Patrick Willis comes to mind. Can't really think of anyone else. They'll let us know, fairly soon. They'll hype it up. So,
I mean, they used to have the Hall of Fame game played. So if Patrick Willis is getting elected, if Patrick Willis is getting elected into the Hall of Fame, they used to have like the 49ers will play that game, right? and then so all the 49ers fans can come to the game, and then they see obviously Patrick Willis get elected into the game. So they got Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, he played for the Bears. Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, there you go. Randy Gradishaw and Steve McMichael. Oh, okay, Steve McMichael played for the Bears. So you got some Bears fans in there. You got some guys, but you know the headliner. I mean, who's the headliner in this? Is it Patrick Willis, Devin Hester? I didn't think Devin Hester was in NFL Hall of Fame.
I think so. That class sounds kind of light to me.
Dwight Freeney, he didn't win. He was good, but was he a Hall of Famer? Did they win a Super Bowl? They do. Was he on a Super Bowl team?
I believe he was on the Colts Super Bowl team.
I mean, he was good. Was he a Hall of Fame player, Dwight Freeney? Yeah. Andre Johnson. I mean, I loved him. He was better in college than he was in the pro. Is he a Hall of Famer? Julius Peppers.
He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, because his total body of work, because of what he did on the college basketball court, and then came in the NFL and just was a stalwart. I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl too, right? He played in the Super Bowl. I mean, I think Patrick Willis, as you mentioned, he's a headliner. But they used to have it where the headliner would be, they'd have a game for those guys, and he, again, San Francisco 49er. Devin Hester doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, obviously, he was a Chicago Bear, played in the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but he played in the Super Bowl. He's not a Hall of Famer. Steve McMichael, okay. So you got two Bears in there versus a Niner. Whatever. And we're watching football more so than the Hall of Fame game, nonetheless. But I like the way they did that, and they would always have typically, the team, whoever the headliner is, that team would be there, so that you'd have your fans in the building and then the game, and your fans could see who's playing. But Cleveland says he doesn't need any reps. Yeah, that's interesting that you say your guy, you've been talking about him being number one since before the season started. Last year, like you predicted, the Mariners would make the playoffs a whole season before it came back around. You were predicting when USC started their football season last year that Caleb Williams would be number one. Okay, he ended up being number one, but you don't care to see him? You don't need to see him on the field?
Cam, you do need to see him on the field. Do you need to see him on the field the very first game, like a week out of training camp? I'm not 100% sure you need to see him right then. But, if you want to see him, a series or two at best. I don't need to see him.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for game one for him to get some NFL action?
No, probably. What do they do their dress rehearsal? They only have 3 games now, right? So the dress rehearsal.
So what are you waiting on? They may have 4 because they're playing a week earlier than everybody else.
So they have 4. So yeah, that third game. Let's see it.
Man, come on, man. Let this guy get in here. We got to see what we got. We got to know what we need to improve on. Can he actually take snap from under the center? Or, he's been used to I think one thing Caleb's going to have to get used to is he likes to ad-lib. Or in his college career, he was ad-libbing, right? He was trying to always make the big play. That might get you hurt in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on schedule, if you ain't doing it running the plays as they drawn up, that might get you hurt in the NFL. Do you agree or disagree?
No, there's some good ad-libbers out there. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa. There's some good ad-libbers out there.
Fans, did you hear my co-host? Did you? Please hit me up at _voice of the fans. At _voice of the fans. I'm accepting resumes for a new co-host this season. He just compared a rookie quarterback to one guy who he spouted off as hasn't missed a game in 9 seasons, went to led his team to back-to-back Super Bowls. That's one guy he compared him to. He compared him to a guy who coming off back-to-back NFL championships. That's another guy he compared him to. Fans, I need a new co-host. I need a new co-host. And I'm accepting reservations. I'm accepting resumes at _voice of the fans, at _voice of the fans on Twitter. Let me know why you deserve to be the co-host. And please don't come on with no crap. What Cleveland just do you want to amend that comment, sir?
No, your question was, does ad-libbing get you in trouble in the NFL? And I said no. The NFL has some actually quite successful ad-libbers, and I just named you 4 right off the top of my head.
One guy went to back-to-back Super Bowls, Cleveland. One guy has won back-to-back Super Bowls. Shame on you.
So they are good ad-libbers then.
You mentioned, and then you brought up. You know what? You know why you did this. You know this will set me off. You knew this would set me off, and you threw Tua Tagovailoa in the mix, knowing damn well that would set me off.
He's a great ad-libber. When things break
down.
No,
he's not actually. He's not great at anything. He's not great at anything. No, he's not really great at anything, by the way. And ad-libbing is why Buffalo, had him carted off on a stretcher.
And I didn't even bring up Josh Allen, another great ad-libber in the NFL. You want to say something about Josh?
At _
he gets off script quite often.
At _ voice of the fans, send your resume. I'm accepting applications for a new co-host this season. This crap, people. We've been doing this for 10 years. You haven't learned anything yet. You haven't learned anything from me yet.
I've learned that there are some quarterbacks in the league that get off script and can still perform, excel even. Kyler Murray, another ad-libber,
So you expect this guy to come in? Is he going to have even the career the second baseman has had?
Oh yeah, much better career than the shortstop.
You expect him to have a better career than the shortstop?
Oh yeah.
And we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. You expect him to have? You brought up Tua Tagovailoa, man.
Mm-hmm.
This guy. You've heard me say it before, fans. 1-6 against playoff teams. This was just last year. With the money on the line, fans. The money on the line. The season on the line, fans. You win the fight. You win week 18. You have the first round of the wild card at home in South Florida, where it's 85 degrees year round. You lose. They knew this going into the game. You lose that game. You travel to Kansas City, where it's negative 37 in the 2023 version of the Ice Bowl. They knew this going into the game, Cleveland. And what do? They lose the game because Tua Tagovailoa can't make a play in the final drive of the game. 1-6 against playoff teams. Cleveland, in his career, in Tua's playing career as a starter, he's 6-14 against playoff teams. In his career. This is a guy Cleveland was trying to give $250 million to. This is the guy. In those playoff games, I mentioned he's 6-14, fans. Negative 110-point scoring differential against those playoff teams. That is the second worst differential percentage all time. Of anybody you want to mention. Ryan Tannehill, Jim Zorn, Dave Craig. Who else? Who led Tampa Bay to the? Who was the guy I'm having a brain fart? Drafted San Jose State. He ended up playing Trent Dilfer. Brad Johnson. Who else? Whatever the quarterback you want to mention. Jay Cutler, the second worst scoring points differential against playoff teams of all time. And yet, my Miami made him the third highest paid player in the NFL. I don't know what to say, Cleveland. They paying this guy one season $53 million more than Dan Marino made his entire football playing career. It's a complete. I don't get it, fans.
Well, Cam, I don't know what it is you aren't seeing. I mean, it's Tua Tagovailoa,
I'm not seeing
tremendous arm talent.
The 1-6
and when
record against playoff teams.
When they give him, an opportunity, when they keep him upright, good things will happen. Obviously they understand they couldn't do better than Tua Tagovailoa given the current quarterback landscape. And going forward, this gives them their best chance to win and, quite possibly make the playoffs this year. What's up, Barry?
What's good, Barry? I'm a little frustrated today, man. I appreciate you for tuning in.
You've always had this love-hate relationship with Tua Tagovailoa. At times, you see the brilliance and, you're on board. You love it. It's great. And then at times, as human beings, we all have our, our bad times. We all, falter and make mistakes. That, you don't win one individual, in football. It's not an individual sport. You win and lose as a team, Cameron.
Oh my goodness, this guy. Now he's throwing out all these cliches at me, fans. You guys hear this mess?
One step at a time. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Apparently you didn't hear me. Apparently, Cleveland, you didn't hear me.
No, I heard
1-6 against playoff teams.
Stats can be somewhat misleading. Stats can be somewhat.
What can be limited? You play against the best competition. You played the top competition last season. You played 7 games. You won 1.
Cameron, I'm sure quite a few of those games were on the road. We don't know what the injury report looked like in those games. We don't know what the numbers that Tua Tagovailoa was.
Make a lot of excuses. You sure making a lot of excuses for this dude. And when I bring up Geno Smith, when I bring up Geno, you have nothing. You don't sound so. All the excuses go out the window. Why is that?
Because Geno sucks.
Six in his career, Cleveland. In his career, last season it was a snapshot in time. Okay, 1-6 in his career. In the career, Cleveland.
Yeah, but
he loses 66% of the playoff teams. He loses 66% of the games.
You can't count those games in his first and second year. He was just getting his legs underneath him. He was just
okay. So you want me to focus on last year when he was a starter all season long? When he was healthy?
Again,
health has been a concern for him since draft day. He was a starter all season long, right? All season long. Is that when you want me to focus on it? When he's had the best wide receiving core in the NFL? Is that the game? Is that the year you want me to focus on?
Were all those receivers healthy for all of those games? Were the running backs healthy for all those games? Was the offensive line healthy for all those games?
1-6.
Were those games on the road? What was the weather like? I need to see the whole picture, Cameron. Just you throwing that, out some numbers to me doesn't necessarily, paint the, the accurate picture. Nevertheless, he's going to be there for a little bit longer here, as you can see, with the 212. He gave him the hometown discount. He really could have got the quarter bill that I was talking about, but he's a nice guy.
He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. And
nice
unfortunately,
guy.
Greer and Ross recognized it.
He's a nice guy. He's all about Ohana.
That hasn't got me any wins against playoff teams.
About team and family. So he's going to continue to study. He's going to continue to progress and maturate, and they could quite possibly make the playoffs this year.
Cleveland drafted 21 spots after Tua Tagovailoa. He's thrown almost 1,000 less passes, 976. Nearly 8,000 less yards. Jordan Love got 220.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah, Green Bay. I don't know.
You don't know.
Put quite a few eggs in the Jordan Love basket. I hope he is who they think he is.
Oh, you don't like Jordan Love? You think that was a bad move?
I mean, I'm okay with Jordan. I mean, great playoff win over the Cowboys last year. Little suspect decision making in the 49er game, but sure, he's got arm talent as well. But boy, oh boy, I don't know. Is his body of work extensive enough to really warrant that type of contract? It's not my money, so we'll just have to wait and see.
I like that. I like that deal better than
No, the Tua deal is way better. Again, team friendly. He's shown you what he can do when you keep him upright and he can stay healthy. So
he can't. He hasn't. You keep if you keep him upright. Cleveland has that amounted to wins. That's what I just gave you the stat against playoff teams. Well, now you want to give me all the weather, who was healthy. This is your guy.
They got into the playoffs, right? That's all I can ask is to get in the playoffs and then see what you can do from there.
And then they got smoked in the playoff. That's
well, they got smoked by the defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, that happens to a lot of teams. You could put that all on Tua Tagovailoa.
If you can't win, so Cleveland here.
If you can't be the Super Bowl champs, that means you ain't nothing. Is that kind of your mantra for the season?
I mean, if you can't score against the Super Bowl champs, but Cleveland, this is you miss the week before. When they have a chance to beat your division you beat your division rivals. You see them the very next week.
But again, why are you putting all of that on Tua Tagovailoa? It's not all his fault.
He's a quarterback. Who's making more money than Tua right now?
It's not about who makes more money. It's about winning and losing as a team. Everyone has to execute in all facets of the game. It's not just up to Tua Tagovailoa to do that.
So you sound like you composed this tweet here. Here's a tweet, fans. I'm gonna read this tweet to you, and then we're going. I can't talk about Tua. I cannot talk about Tua till week 1 of the NFL season. I pray for the kid's health. I really do. I pray for the kid's health. But the kid, he ain't that guy. You heard me say that 4 years ago when he was drafted. Unfortunately, he got drafted to the team I've been rooting for since the early 80s. He ain't that guy, and we're going to see it again. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about Tua Tagovailoa until week 1 of the NFL season. Players since 2022 with at least 50 passing touchdowns, 8,000 passing yards, and 100 passing rating. Give me that list. I know it's an obscure list, but 50 touchdown passes, 8,000 passing yards, and 100 passing rating. Give me that list.
Patrick Mahomes is on that list.
Patrick Mahomes is not on that list.
Justin Herbert on that list.
Justin Herbert is not on this list.
Joe Burrow on that list.
Joe Burrow is not on this list, Cleveland. This is how obscure this list. This is how obscure the stat is, and this is why you don't like stats. This is the exact reason that you don't like stats, and this feeds your case right here. Tua Tagovailoa is the only guy.
Well,
the only guy on that list, fans. And that's why stats don't matter. Yeah. That's why when you score 70 points in a game, the stats are overinflated. That's why when you lead the league in passing, you can't just look at that number. You got to look at wins. Wins matter. And against playoff teams, it matters more. And this guy hasn't been able to win.
Well,
yet he becomes the third highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's making 4 years, $212, $160 million guaranteed. And I like the Jordan Love bill. I like Jordan Love. I feel better about the Jordan Love deal than the Tua Tagovailoa deal. 4 years, $220, $75 million. I like that move better. Who will get a second deal, Cleveland? Jordan Love or Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, they'll both get second deals, yeah.
I mean, well, okay. Who will get a second deal with their team, with their respective team? Who will get the second?
The Packers. They're all in with Jordan. They like having the same quarterback for like 15 years.
I mean, they've been fortunate. They have been fortunate to.
Yeah.
They have been fortunate to go from Don Majkowski. You don't remember Magic.
I do remember the Magic Man. He can sling it.
I like Don. He got hurt, and then they put in number 4, and this guy was even more of a slinger than Magic Man, and he couldn't get his job back. Then they go to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's a. Then they go to Jordan Love. I mean, they couldn't wait to get Aaron Rodgers out the door so Jordan Love can start. So we'll see. I like the deal for Tua. I like the deal for Jordan Love. I think he's going to be better than Tua, and it's hard to just my Dolphins. Opening ceremonies, Cleveland. What's your thoughts on opening ceremonies? Are you following the Olympics at all?
Yeah, I jumped on there. I tune in a little bit here and there. As I was, telling Tyler, I'm kind of, really waiting for the track and field to kind of see how that goes. Obviously I'm curious with regards to USA basketball, men's and women's. Probably gonna wait to like really, deep dive with those guys, and when it gets a little bit, further along. I've been watching a little bit of swimming, a little gymnastics. There is so much coverage. I even watched a little bit of rugby yesterday. So,
Oh, look at you. Oh, look at you trying to expand your mind. So you don't know nothing about football. You don't know nothing about the NFL. You might well learn something else.
I know plenty about that. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Not with that take on Tua and the ad-libbing quarterback.
Well, again, you and Tua have a love-hate relationship, and it's a learning process. You just don't have very much patience, Cameron. Since he came into the league, all he's done is progress and gotten better. There's only a few more steps left to take here before he's anointed. He's certainly got the talent.
I'm not trying to bring him up, fans. I told you I don't want to talk about him again, but Cleveland keeps bringing him up. I want to know. I want to know, what do you rank it? How do you rank it? Come on, how do you rank growth? You say ever since he come in the league, he keeps getting better. How do you rank that? How do you measure that?
Incremental growth.
How do you measure that? Just tell me. Give me an idea of how you measure incremental growth. How do you measure?
His record has gotten better every year. His ability to read defenses has gotten better every year. His ability to stay healthy and on the field has gotten better every year. His rapport with his receivers has gotten better every year. His ability to kind of.
He hasn't told me how he measures it though. He give me all this.
How is that not telling you how?
Are you his ability to read defenses has gotten better?
It's gotten better.
How are you measuring that, Cleveland?
Doesn't throw as many interceptions. Doesn't throw into coverage when it's not necessary as much
when you encompass all that. Mm-hmm. How that sounds like a wins number to me.
He's gotten more wins every season that he's been in the league.
Just not against the playoff teams and teams that matter.
So he's gotten more wins every season.
Just not against playoff teams. Just so we could clarify.
Again, I don't
against seven. They played 17 games last season. 7 of those games against playoff teams. He won 1 of those. That's acceptable to you?
So he won 11 of those 17 games.
I think Gino might have more wins against playoff teams than Tua Tagovailoa.
Seriously doubt that.
Let's look at real quick. Seahawks 2023. Let's see what happened. Let's look at this right here. Let's look at this right here. Did the Steelers make the playoffs?
Yes, they did.
Well, the Seahawks lost it. Did the Titans make the playoffs?
No, the Titans did not make the playoffs. No.
The Eagles, they beat the Eagles, but that was who? Drew Lock or who was
that? That wasn't a Geno Smith start. They beat the Lions. Let me help you out. They beat the Lions early.
There you go. How about that? They beat the Lions.
Okay. Well, there's one.
Okay. Ooh, they lost to the Rams by 1 point. They lost to the Rams. They beat the Commanders. Did the Commanders make the playoffs?
They did not make the playoffs, Cameron.
Did the Browns make the playoffs?
The Browns did make the playoffs.
There you go. Who was the quarterback in that game?
Geno Smith, and I believe it wasn't even Dorian whatever from UCLA. It wasn't even him. It was like the third string quarterback that was in that game.
Oh, so you taking shots at the Browns, but the Browns did make the playoffs, and they did have Chubb, right?
No, Nick Chubb was not in that game.
He was out?
Yeah.
Well, they were in playoffs. Did the Giants make the playoffs last year?
Giants did not make the playoffs, Cameron.
Did the Panthers make the playoffs last year?
Panthers did not make the playoffs, Cameron.
They beat the Lions, as you mentioned. Man, I'm looking.
I know. You're scrounging.
Did the Cowboys make the playoffs? Did the Cowboys make the playoffs?
Cowboys did make the playoffs, but they didn't beat the Cowboys.
They did beat the. Oh, that was preseason game. Oh, that was preseason.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Super Sleuth, man, trying to do all this underground detective work. Back to the point. Tua Tagovailoa has gotten better. And he can and there's still room for growth and improvement, right?
Man, I'm done with the Tua talk. Enough. We're talking USA Men's Olympics, okay? You keep want to bring up losers. I don't want to talk about losers, okay?
Okay, sure.
Team USA. Are you interested in Kevin Durant playing? He played today. Came off the bench and went 5 for 5 from deep. Hit his first 7 shots, I think it was. Are you okay with Kerr and the way he's being used?
Kevin Durant did his best Carmelo Anthony impersonation right there, kind of showing why he is.
Anthony, what?
You don't remember when Carmelo scored 34 points in 14 minutes? It was kind of ridiculous to watch.
You just do that, fans? See, fans, if you've been paying, this is why I'm looking for a new co-host. @_voice of the fans on Twitter. Hit me up. Send me your resume. Send me your demo reel. Send me your live links. @_voice of the fans on Twitter. This guy, I'm talking about Kevin Durant, 2-time champion, league MVP, and he brings up, oh yeah, just like Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, instant offense off the bench, giving the USA team an unfair advantage against the rest of the world. Yeah, if Kevin Durant's coming off your bench, it's a problem for the rest of the countries.
You comparing Kevin Garnett to Kevin Durant to Carmelo Anthony is a problem, Cleveland. That's a problem.
Okay, well, clearly you didn't see the game that I'm talking about, so it's just really about the firepower coming off the bench and the unstoppable shot, which he has. So no need to worry. They'll be
fans. One more time. @_voice of the fans. @_voice of the fans on Twitter. Please send me your links. Please send me your demo reels. I need a new co-host by NFL season. I don't even know what to say. Now I'm speechless. I don't even know if I should ask the next question. Because he's gonna give me some horrible comparison. A 2-time champion. 2-time champion, league MVP. You compare that dude to Carmelo Anthony. Has Carmelo been in a MVP running for one season in the NBA? Just one.
Well, Cam, what we were talking about, and you have a tendency to kind of get off subject here every once in a while.
Oh, I do.
Is we were talking about Olympic performances, and this is Kevin Durant's first game this year. He scored 21 points in the first half. He hit his first 7 shots. That's remarkable. It's comparable to when Carmelo Anthony scored 34 points in 14 minutes in an Olympic game. I did not say that their NBA careers were parallel. I did not say that Carmelo Anthony was half the player that Kevin Durant is overall. I didn't say any of those things. I was referring to an Olympic performance.
Okay, fans. He redeemed himself. Good job, Cleveland. Redeeming yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for listening clearly.
Yeah, good job for redeeming yourself. Because that other crap that you was making did make 0 sense.
Okay, I'm glad I was able to clarify, and you were able to kind of ingest your information a little differently this time.
Serbia started off, I think it was a 10-2. Jumped out to a 10-2 lead, I believe, in this game. It was 11-2 or 10-2, one of the two. At one point, were you worried at any point in this game against Serbia?
Never worried at any point during this game.
Do you think is there cause for concern for Team USA fans and the American fans at any point in this Olympics, the USA not bringing home the gold?
I personally don't think so. Obviously, their biggest obstacles will be Canada and France. But again, like you just said, Kevin Durant is coming off the bench. That's
Jason Tatum didn't see the floor today. He did not play.
Well, Jason Tatum hasn't really deserved the minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if Devin Booker didn't see the floor either.
Devin Booker hit his first three shots.
Okay, did he finally bring his shooting game to the gym? Well, that's cool. Well, that's how you stay on the floor.
So I think there was a stat that in Dream Team, the 92 Bulls, the greatest team ever assembled, they played 5.
Wait, did you just call them the 92 Bulls? Why did you call them that?
The 92 in the 92.
Yeah, you Jordanites, man, I swear. God.
The 92 Dream Team, the 92 Olympics.
Turn it off.
Did they played 5 Hall of Famers. Excuse me, they played 5 players that was in the NBA. The 92 Dream Team. This Dream Team is playing, I think it is 51 guys that have played in the NBA. Does that concern you at all? That the elevation of the game in the world has elevated to a point. Have they elevated their game? The rest of the world has to compete with America.
No, it's a testament to the exposure that dream team, gave to the rest of the world and their influence on, basketball all across the world. Does that make it more of a challenge to win the gold medal? Sure. Does that mean that they're not going to win the gold medal because 10 times as many players play in the NBA? No. This team is still way better than the rest of the teams that the world can put together.
Okay, I tend to agree with you. Cleveland, let's talk about Major League Baseball. And this is a topic I'll defer to you on. The trade deadline is approaching, and the Mariners. When's the last time the Mariners were buyers? And the trade line, usually they're sellers, and they're the farm team of the Major League Baseball. That's typically the position they hold. This year they go out and make a move, bring in a bat. How do you feel? You've been complaining that they needed a bat with J-Rod going down. Obviously, their big time bat is out right now. But how do you feel this new move is gonna help them out?
Certainly can't hurt, Cam. I hope he's as productive as he's been in the past. Rosarina, when on his game, certainly brings the pop that we need in the middle of the lineup. I'm hoping it's not the last move they make, but it very well may be. There hasn't been a whole lot of activity in the trading capacity. The Yankees did go and get Jazz Chisholm from the Marlins. I'm kind of glad because I didn't really want him on our team. Hoping that Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox is still a possibility. If so, it makes the lineup a lot more formidable going forward. The pitching is still lights out. Bullpen has been letting down a little bit recently, but it's probably because they can't score enough runs to sustain anything. What was it against the Angels? The starting pitchers gave up 1 earned run in 3 straight games, and they lost all 3 games. So,
what do you expect from Rosarina when he shows up? I mean, this guy is a notable player in the major league. Is clearly your surprise, but do you expect him to be a difference maker?
I don't think that he can carry this lineup per se, but it certainly makes them improved and better. At least it's a threat of someone that can hit the ball out of the park. So I think he'll do decent. I don't think he's going to be like a savior by any means, but I think that his productivity with this pitching staff can certainly keep the Mariners in the race into September, and then we'll kind of see what happens from there.
But he doesn't have to be special, right? He just has to come in, and if he plays his average game, I mean, that's a significant upgrade for the Mariners, correct?
It is a significant upgrade in left field, but we would really prefer it be his A game, in which case he kind of has the ability to kind of lift the team for a little while. But if he's just in the lineup and can hit it, get some timely hits here or there, a few wins here or there is kind of what we're talking about. We're only, the Mariners are only a game back of the Houston Astros for the American League West division lead, so, and we have better pitching than them. So
okay, so surprise, not, I'm sure it surprised Metro League because they have to do some rescheduling now. They can't open their games up in the T-Mobile stadium like I've been suggesting. How long does he put this off? Just to the end of the season?
I'm sorry, how long does he what?
How long does he hold off the Metro League from playing, Blanchette and playing Roosevelt or Cleveland playing?
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Yeah, at least through this season. Yeah, I guess we'll have to revisit next year, but yeah, at least through this season.
Okay. So Cleveland, did you and Rob make up yet? You guys aren't back on the text thread?
No, I'm not back on that thread just yet.
Oh, Coach Juicery not allowing that, huh?
No, I mean, we just don't really have anything to say. I mean, I've kind of given my suggestions. I've put in my 2 cents, and on his side, he's basically just been ghosting everybody. No major moves. Just kind of staying pat with things, and it's not the Laker way. So,
what do you think about the article that players or Laker teammates had an issue with Bronny getting special preferential treatment during the summer league? Do you make anything of that?
well, of course they did, Cameron. You're always going to get somebody to, kind of leak that information. Typically, that's, kind of kept in house, and everyone kind of already knows that there's animosity with regards to how this whole thing went down. So it's no surprise that the other Laker teammates feel that way. It's certainly been. It's not even superstar preferential treatment. It's preferential treatment for a superstar's, son. So that's a little weird. I'm sure that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but it is what it is. Get over it.
Oh, just get over it.
Just get over it.
Well, I think, fortunately for you guys, that those players complaining probably not going to be on the roster. When
they very well could be on the roster. Just hey man, it's going to be bring your son to work day every day. I mean that's just what it is.
Bring your son to work day every day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Do you how after seeing what he did in the summer league, how better prepared is LeBron, or not LeBron, is Bronny James for the real season in the NBA?
He's not any more prepared for the real season. From what I saw in summer league, what I would like for the Lakers to do is get that thing out of the way in the first week. Before I was like maybe the first month, kind of wait for situational. No, man. I don't care if it is the first quarter of the first game. Get that out of the way. Out of the way.
And then what?
And then
send him down to the G League?
Again, as I've said, you don't want to send him to the G League. He has to stay up here with the big team. Because the minute he's never coming back.
So sub him in at the 7-minute mark of game one, and then by halftime he has a hamstring injury. Wait. So if they play the Portland Trailblazers, are you telling what's my man, the center for the Trailblazers? He was not Klingon. Klingon might take DeAndre Ayton's time. He might take his minutes. Or do you tell Ayton to go give him a hard foul? Go give him.
No. I mean, you're not trying to hurt the kid. We're not trying to be all overly dramatic like that. But yeah, please do not let this storyline continue on and on for more than a week.
So you don't think once they get the picture done and they became the first father-son to take the court in the NBA, that we've seen enough there? I mean, that was worth the 55 pick of the NBA draft. That was it right there.
Yep.
That's what you paid $2.9 million, $2.2 million for that moment right there. That was an expensive picture. That's an expensive picture, Cleveland.
Not really. It paid for itself, man. It made the king happy. It will go viral all over the place. You can relive this moment, and it'll be part of a movie sometime.
So does he do the chalk? Does he do the chalk throw? The fake chalk throw, like LeBron just pours a bunch of talcum powder in his hand and throw it up in the air. Like he doesn't even rub it in his hand. At least MJ it was a thing for MJ. Like, we need my hands this way. We need to kind of wipe the sweat away. This dude just dumps half the bottle in his hand and throw it in the air. Like, and that's
no. Bronny doesn't need to do that.
Well, so bro, he has to have some kind of moment, right? When he entered the game, he can't just
his moment.
Do a special handshake with his pops.
He might have a special handshake with his pops. That's cool. Yeah. But his special moment will be when he gets to cross the lines and play on an NBA court with other NBA players in a real NBA game.
How long do you keep him in the game? Do you allow him to make a bucket? Do you allow him to make a bucket? Can he get an alley-oop from his dad? Can he give his dad an alley-oop?
Okay, see, now you're trying to script it.
I'm just saying.
He stays in there for like 5 minutes.
So you don't leave him in long enough to hit a wide open three from his pops.
Maybe he gets fouled, going to the hole. He makes a free throw or two. Maybe he makes an assist. Maybe he gets a rebound. But hey, man, let's not get all overly optimistic about this. Do a little bit of something and then shut it down.
Do a little bit of something. So he can't even stay in the game long enough to get an assist from his pops or throw his dad in the alley-oop.
Again, it's situational. We don't know how the game is going to unfold, so we don't really know. And again, you have to handpick these situations. I mean, you don't want to put him in there, if Dylan Brooks is on the court. You don't want to put him in there if like Drew Holiday's on the court. You don't want to put him in there if like Victor Wembanyama's on the court. It has to be kind of like a lull, kind of like, oh, okay, like they're playing the Kings or something. And,
why are you disrespecting the Kings? What the Kings do to you?
They're not very good. So like say they have the Kings and like Malik Monk is running around out there and what's a man's name? No, not De'Aaron. You certainly don't want to have De'Aaron. Try to say it for De'Aaron Fox. No, what's the guy?
Bonus?
No, after him, their next best player, Keegan. So Keegan Murray's out there, you know what I'm saying?
What a dude. How are you disrespecting Malik Monk and Keegan Murray? He can run with those guys. Is what you're saying.
Maybe for a little while. I mean, certainly not for an extended period of time. Like, is Charlotte on their schedule early? If Charlotte's on their schedule early, that's the game to do it. Charlotte.
Taking shots fired. Shots fired. So okay. So does Rich Paul schedule Charlotte on the roster or on the schedule? Does Rich Paul,
Paul doesn't do the scheduling. I mean, I haven't seen how the Lakers' schedule is going to unfold, but yeah, man, you want it in a game where it doesn't really matter very much. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you guys just tossing shots out to the rest of the league. Like, boy, like it ain't no issue. Well, we want to see how this works out, man. We want to see how it works out. Do you think, everybody's been saying how much of a team player that Bronny is, how much of how he sacrifices for the other guys around him. He just wants to be a regular guy. Do you think the big boys, the varsity team is going to see it that way, or is he going to be treated special on the varsity team?
No, the varsity team is going to see it for what it is. It's bring your son to work day every day. They know he doesn't really deserve the spot, and they know that he's not really going to help them win. So it's the only way he's helping them win is by making his dad happy. That's the only way that he's helping them. He cannot contribute on the court to wins and losses.
So making his dad happy is the way to go.
That is his contribution to this team, yes.
Cleveland is so cold. Man, do you guys agree or disagree with Cleveland that's his LeBron James' son, Bronny James, only contribution to the Lakers in 2024 will be just to make his dad happy? I mean, we seen the meme. We seen the meme where LeBron is looking at Bronny like he was looking at who was dude? Oh my goodness, how am I having a brain fart? After dude got the rebound and dribbled it to the 3-point line instead of taking
J.R. Smith. Yeah, J.R. Smith not realizing what the score was in a championship game. Yeah.
We all see the meme. LeBron looking at J.R. Smith like, what are you doing? Is there going to be a moment on the court like that?
No, because it'll all be teachable moments for Bron. It'll all be like they're, playing in their driveway. He's going to be pointing out stuff and telling.
That was a teachable moment for Smith, for J.R. Smith.
Yeah. No.
What do you mean? No. That was a teachable moment. He was like, "Dog, what are you doing?"
That was in an NBA Finals game against another, elite professional. That's not what Bronny is.
Wow, no love for Bronny. I mean, maybe that's why they kicked you off the text thread because you weren't.
I'm happy for the young man, but I'm also realistic about what it represents to the league and to the team.
I mean, maybe that's why you got kicked off the text thread. Maybe you better send an apology. Did you send an apology text?
I'm not going.
I didn't mean all that.
No,
I didn't mean all that I said on the podcast.
I may have done that if Rob would have got us some free agent help, but he didn't. So,
I heard Jeremy Grant might be going to the Lakers. Jeremy Grant from the Portland Trail Blazers.
Sure. I mean,
what do you mean? Sure. Oh, that's not enough for you?
Not really moving the needle. Yeah. No. Rob swung and missed a lot in free agency.
Oh, wow. You don't think Jeremy Grant can help out? I mean, he's a 3-and-D guy. His jumper got better over his career, but he's gonna play the defense that your guy King James ain't playing.
It's not the free agency splash we were looking for. Disappointing in what Rob was able to do or not do.
Well, Rob, they didn't say they didn't want to come play with Rob. They didn't want to come play with that other guy. And AD is not who we're talking about.
Okay, well, they all have their reasons for making their decisions, Cameron. Some of them, financial. Some of them, you're not promising them they were going to start, and they didn't want the pressure of playing in the same place that their dad had so much success. They didn't really, want the really bright lights at this point. They wanted them kind of, muted by cowboy hats. Those are, you can't think for everybody. You can't make them do it.
Did you just take some shots at Klay Thompson? Is that what we heard?
Why?
He couldn't stand the lights, and cowboy hats is going to dim the light.
I don't think I mentioned anyone.
Did you just take shots at Klay Thompson?
I don't think I mentioned anyone by name. You make your own conclusion.
I mean, but who else? Cowboy hats. Where was that? I mean, that's in one particular
prominent in Texas, most notably. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are 3 teams in Texas. I mean, you read between the lines, fill in the blanks for yourself.
I thought it sounded like he was taking shots at Klay Thompson. Klay, you hear that? I think Klay got something to say about that. He was disappointed he didn't make the Olympic squad. Disappointed Klay
is disappointed quite often these days, don't you? He's disappointed about a little bit of everything.
Ooh, no, that is definitely shots he's taking at Klay Thompson, fans. Let's see if Klay Thompson shows up in LA with something to prove. Because that other team is in Inglewood right now. I don't know if you know about that. They got a new, the one team in LA that Klay would be coming to see. And that's his father's ex-team. And now that you've thrown shots at him, were you on the same page? Was Rob taking shots at Klay Thompson too? Did you get that from Rob?
I didn't get anything from Rob other than he wasn't able to deliver anything of substantial significance in the off season.
Fans, we'll give Rob a break, man. He got a few more months to get something done. NBA doesn't start until late October to Halloween. We got NFL less than 40 days away now, so we'll actually see some NFL next week. Cleveland doesn't think they should play Caleb Williams, the number 1 rookie. I mean, when does Adunze play? Would you play Adunze next week?
I'll play him a few snaps.
Well, you don't think they need to get their timing down? You don't think they need to get their continuity together?
They're doing that in training camp.
You're gonna wait till week 1 to let these guys get their continuity.
Preseason game number 2 is when you play the half. Now that's just my philosophy. Now this coach may be completely totally different, and he might throw him out there like you want him. You and Woody Hayes and all those guys that just want you to just run sprints at 95-degree weather till you pass out. That's fine. I mean, hit the sled again. Hit the sled again. Hit the sled again. Go in and take
Get
it
it
out.
right this time. Hit it right this time.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I mean, we got to get ready for the season.
I know, Cam, and if it was up to you, they would play every single snap. I understand that. I am of a different philosophy. I don't think that you need to risk all of that. And football is definitely one of those sports that can end your season on any play. So rather than take that risk, see a little bit of what you need to see. And then when, that second preseason game comes around, great, do the dress rehearsal. That third preseason game is for people that are on the cutting line. Let them get as much run as they can. And then week 1, we get ready to go.
So you would have never, what was the place they called it? I'm missing the joke, but I can't remember. What did they call the Tension Square? Tension Square down in Dallas, where they ran them to death, ran the football players to death. I think it was Paul Bryant took his team down there.
I can't remember what you're talking about, but yeah, there's all kinds of stories like that. I mean, you remember they used to do 2-a-days, man. They used to try and pick like the hottest, most ridiculous place that they could have training camp.
Junction Square. Was it Junction Square?
Don't recall, but yeah, those days are long gone. They only live as a memory in your mind of how you think things should be done, but that's not really how they do it anymore, Cam.
That's not how they did it. That's how it should be done.
I know that's what I said. It's in your memory as with regards to like the right way to do things, but that's just not how things get done anymore.
I mean, that they make winners. That's where those types of situations are where winners are made, right?
No, Cam. That's how you get players spent before it's even time to play a game. That's how you increase injury. You got to realize these players are a lot different than they were back then. They're already in shape, Cameron. They're not going to training camp to get into shape.
You think? That was part of the problem.
That was part of whose problem?
That they weren't in shape, that they needed that time to get in shape.
Right. That's not what's happening. These guys are in shape year round. They're not coming in 50 pounds overweight, falling off the couch. Let's go to training camp and get ready for the season. No. They're already ready.
Man, I think it's Junction Square, but I'm trying to look it up. I can't confirm Paul Bear Bryant's training fields.
Mm-hmm. Right. Was it right in there next to the cotton fields? Is that where it was?
I think it was.
That's where you're going if you don't run hard.
Well, no, because it wasn't. It wasn't. Those guys weren't going to the cotton fields. If you understand what I'm trying to say, those guys on the team, if they didn't make the team, they were getting sent home and benched. They weren't being sent to the cotton fields. Wow, that was a good shot, fans. Let's give Cleveland a round of applause today. Aside from comparing Caleb Plant to Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson,
it's Caleb Williams.
Caleb Plant, Caleb Williams. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Instead of comparing Caleb Williams to Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes and the shortstop Kyler Murray. Who else you try to say? Josh Allen,
Lamar Jackson, other players that are able to ad-lib and make plays on the fly.
You see.
Notice I didn't mention Brock Purdy in that conversation. Did you notice that? His ability to ad-lib is not really that great. But when you keep him on script, Who
will have a better season, Brock Purdy or Caleb Williams?
Oh no, Brock Purdy will quite possibly get his team back to the Super Bowl. I'm feeling.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling very much.
Okay.
I'm feeling very much a Jim Kelly kind of career for that guy.
Jim Kelly career go get there and lose again? Is that what you're saying? Are you taking shots at Jim Kelly now?
It's not a shot at it's not a shot at Machine Gun Kelly at all.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Get to the Super Bowl and lose. Is that what you're expecting?
It's just a comparable result, is all.
At least you recognize that. At least you recognize that John Purdy has the potential to get his team to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row.
Just to let the fans know, I think Jim Kelly is far and above a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. But unfortunately,
why are you taking shots at him? Why are you taking shots at him?
I'm not. I'm just saying that I think that Brock Purdy is going to be one of those guys that can get there and never win it.
He can take you. He can take you that far, but just can't win the dance. Is that what you're saying? Would you rather have Brock Purdy or Geno Smith?
It's a very difficult question to answer, Cameron.
What? No, it's not actually. It's you take two shots at these two guys.
I'd rather have Brock Purdy.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Oh my goodness, that hurt him, fans. Man, you guys don't know how painful that was. But you've been doing a lot of disrespecting folks today. Disrespecting Geno Smith, disrespecting taking shots at Jim Kelly. I mean, you've been taking shots.
That's not shots at Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Played for the Super Bowl 4 times in a row.
But you said he can't. You're saying his comparison, Brock Purdy's comparison, he can't get it done essentially, and that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying or said about Jim Kelly. Did I miss something? Did I not hear that correctly?
Well, Jim Kelly didn't get it done. He did play for the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, which is remarkable. I think only Fran Tarkenton's the only other quarterback to ever do that. So, yeah.
Not 4 years in a row, but 4 Super Bowls, right?
I think it was 4 in a row for the Vikings.
Man, it sounds like shots taken to me.
No, just saying that Brock Purdy's not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, but at least we make some headway, fans, because he didn't have Brock Purdy, doing much of anything. But now at least he acknowledged that Brock Purdy can get to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. At least he acknowledged that he can do that. So that's some growth. That's some incremental growth that you spoke of, huh?
Yeah. I did have to, acquiesce to, what everyone else was talking about. And the 49ers as a team are really good. And he is kind of like the quarterback that you can plug in there and, kind of get them to there. But, if they wanted to actually win a Super Bowl, they would need, a slight upgrade at the position, I feel. But, they like what he does.
Cleveland, how can you can't upgrade from a guy who's darn near perfect in the role? I'm not sure.
If he was perfect, they would have won the Super Bowl, right?
I don't get you today. Today you on one. You're on one today. Minnesota Vikings. They lost to the Dolphins in 73. They lost to the Dolphins in 74. They lost to the Steelers in 75. Cowboys and Steelers played in 76. Minnesota lost to the Raiders in 77. So Minnesota went 3
years, and then 4 out of 5. Okay.
That's still somewhat impressive. The Bills, though, the Bills 4 years in a row, that was extremely impressive, and they don't get, they just get guys like you taking shots at them.
No shots. It's not a shot at them at all.
They got beat by some. They got beat by some hellacious teams. Man. The Bills did. They got beat by some hellacious teams. So it wasn't
Cowboys twice, the Redskins and the Giants. The Giants were not a hellacious team by any stretch of the imagination. That 90 team was not that great. The 86, okay. The 90 team, not so much. That was Hostetler, quarterback.
I mean, they were still a good football team. I mean, they had the greatest player ever play the game. Carl Banks was still on that team. I mean, they still were solid.
It was farther along in his career, you know.
Sure. I mean, the thing that stands out about that game is Thurman Thomas could have won that Super Bowl MVP. He was the best player on the field that day.
Okay, well, you're missing the point here. Brock Purdy is a decent quarterback, and he plays on a really, really good team, and they have an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl again. They just won't win it.
Who are they going to play in the Super Bowl? Since you're making Super Bowl predictions,
Ravens or the Chiefs
on the July 28th.
One of three teams: either the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Jets.
Once again, fans, I'm accepting resumes, looking for a new co-host on the podcast. We record every Wednesday.
Yeah, I guarantee one of those three teams will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Cam can have the other 13 teams in the AFC East, or in the AFC if he would like. But he's not going to do that because he's afraid.
You got something on that?
For sure. I get. Yeah.
No, you can't have the Chiefs. I'm not doing it. You got to take the Chiefs out of there. Keep the Ravens or the Ravens or the.
What I said.
The Ravens or the Jets.
You mocked me. You said it. That was not going to happen. I don't know what I'm talking about. And now you're telling me to take one of the teams out.
You can't have you can't have the greatest quarterback to ever live.
Yeah, he's one of those. Yeah, no, I'm not taking it out.
So you see how he protected himself, fans. You see how you can say the Dolphins. You can say the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or the Ravens. And I mean, and you have a chance of being 30% right. 33% right. I mean, you put Patrick Mahomes in that bunch right there, you're likely going to be right. Okay? So yeah, nobody else is taking that bet, and I bet Vegas wouldn't even take that bet. Caesar Palace ain't taking that bet right now. Okay, go down there and put some money on that little parlay.
I guess that's just a testament to how truthful that statement is. One of those three teams will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Have a little bit more conviction. Have a little bit more conviction, and just say the Jets or the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. I think many more people would take that bet.
Why would I do that?
I mean, because you're adding Patrick Mahomes as a buffer, as a protector.
I'm adding the back-to-back Super Bowl winning team as one of the favorites to represent the AFC again in the Super Bowl. That's just good sense, Cameron. That's just good sense.
Is Nadal and Alcaraz, are they gonna win the doubles in tennis?
They should. That's an awfully good team. But Nadal is not necessarily the best doubles player, and I'm not quite sure how healthy he is, but so far so good. I mean, he got to the finals of the tournament that he played before the Olympics. So yeah, I mean,
that'd be healthy right now. I mean, they're two of the top. What are they, like LeBron and AD? Two of the top 10 players in the game right now?
No, Nadal is certainly fallen off. He's been injured pretty much the whole year. So, but Alcaraz is arguably the best player in the world right now.
Okay, so where's Nadal? Did he fall out of the top 20?
Yeah, Nadal hasn't played a major tournament.
You just said he just won. He just won Wimbledon 2 weeks ago.
No, Alcaraz did that.
What did Nadal just win?
Nadal got to the finals of a tune-up tournament before the Olympics, and that was his first tournament in like 4 months.
Okay. All right, but he wasn't supposed to be there, right?
Not necessarily, but it was a good test for him. I think he plays Djokovic in singles in the second round of the Olympics. So I don't think he's going to get past the Joker.
Is doubles harder than playing singles?
It's a different kind of a game. You don't have to cover as much court, but your net game has to be a little bit better, and you can't just rely on just solely on your ground strokes. And again, you're also playing with a partner, so you have to kind of accentuate their weaknesses as well. So it just kind of depends.
Doubles on the Olympics. They're playing Japan and Great Britain right now. Who wins this match?
Japan versus Great Britain?
Yeah.
I would have to say probably Great Britain will win that.
Fans, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your Sunday special. We will be off on Wednesday, so you guys get a little break. We'll be off on Wednesday, and next Sunday, more than likely, unless something tremendously happens, we'll be off for the next 2 weeks or next week and miss 2 shows, Cleveland. So enjoy your break. When we come back, we should have some fantasy. We should have some football action to talk about. Obviously, the Hall of Fame game will have been played by then. By then, I think I'd like to see the rookie Caleb Plant, how he fares with his new offense. I mean, they got to play him, man. They got the changes on the offensive line, new running back, obviously the whole new receiving core. They got to get him out there and see kind of what's what, man. You got to get a feel for what they're working with, the changes that they can make or they have to make, for the regular season. So we got to see him out there. So we'll be able to talk about how he looks as in his rookie debut. And then we've got preseason to be heading up, following quickly to follow. Only a few games left. Do you like that they have the 3 games now? Missed the last game, and then they're gonna have a week off before the season starts. So there'll be like another 2-week break, isn't there, before the season starts on the second week in September?
Yeah, I'm not tremendously liking the new system, but it is what it is. You have to give, if you're going to give them an extra game during the regular season, you certainly have to take one away from the games that doesn't count. So
yeah, I just think once they get to playing those games, man, athletes are a creature of habits. Now you're changing their habits. Like, they're supposed to just drive to the stadium like there's a real game going on, and they go to the stadium and sign some autographs. Like, I think they should be playing.
Well, yeah, they've adjusted, Cameron. You're not giving them enough credit. They've adjusted just fine. They're okay.
Fans, thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast once again. Enjoy your time away, fans, and as always, thank you for making our voice your choice. I am looking for a new co-host. Send your resumes to @_voice of the fans, @_voice of the fans on Twitter, to replace this dude here. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you for making our voice your choice.